professional fade out.
That was a really good fade out. It was a little quick at the end, to be honest, but that's what we got.
That was the iTunes fade.
How are we all doing now?
Hey, everybody.
Hello. So thank you guys for coming to hang out. Our plan is to just talk about the record and answer any questions you have. We're gonna talk about the songwriting and the recording process, and maybe play through some of the songs, just like some of the bits of them that are more interesting or complicated, and
Take your questions.
yeah,
We have monitors here so we can see all your questions, and it'd be fun to talk about what you guys want to talk about too. So cool.
You see and hear that's good. That's excellent. So we just came out with this album, Reed McQueen, which is the name of our group, Matt Reed, Chris McQueen, and we just put this album out on GroundUP Records. We're very excited to be part of the GroundUP world. We put out an album before on our own called Western Theater a few years ago, and so this is our second album. We wrote all the music. There's 8 original songs, and recorded it here in Austin at a place called Dream Studios with Hogue Kepner, awesome recording engineer and mustache wearer.
And puppeteer.
How could I forget?
Yep.
So, yeah, I guess, do you want to just start at the first song?
Yeah, let's listen to a little bit of Flow, and then we'll talk about it. Again, if you guys have any things you want us to talk about, we'll get into it.
All right, so here is Flow. This is the first track on the album, and it's also the one that we just recently made a music video for. Song that Matt had written, basically this whole section that you're hearing now, like the A section, was like basically all written, and this was the first new song that we had after our first album, and we were starting to think about writing songs for a second album. And I remember I think I was like on tour somewhere, or maybe just out of town or something, and you sent me a voice memo of this idea, both the parts together, and then I think I sent back an idea that was like, I was like, okay, cool, that's great. And then maybe like after that we can go like double time and go like something like that. And yeah, that didn't work out. We didn't do that. Didn't end up being a good idea. But yeah, what do you remember about writing this? I remember this being kind of a struggle to finish the other sections of this song.
This section here,
yeah.
Yeah, and I think I had this progression from like a long time ago or something.
Yeah, play the progression. It's pretty much an A, but then it kind of spends some time in G and then F, which is, it's like super cool how it kind of winds its way around.
Yeah, so obviously the hard part was to come up with a melody.
Right.
For me, I couldn't think of a melody that I liked, so
I think I sort of just improvised that melody, kind of, because we were like had a writing session, jamming it out, and like, yeah, I think I just sort of played something like, it wasn't all worked out, but it was something like that. I remember that I liked that part, and I was like, okay, I got that part, that's cool, and then I kind of worked out the like, all that to like finish it out.
Yep.
And then once again we were stuck. Like I remember we had like 1 or 2 sessions where we tried it, and we were like, okay, don't know where to go from there. And I think that at some point I sat down at home and started hearing this other thing that we go to after that. It's like a bunch of other chords. I think it's like, the thing about composition is there's never one way to do it, because all of my logical part of my brain says that you shouldn't just keep on adding new chords when you already have like a lot of chords in the song.
Right.
You know, like this part has like so many chords that go by. I think the songwriting, you know, the songwriting technique would be like reuse something that you already have. But for some reason, it just really works in that song to just keep on going.
Yep.
With all these other chords in that C section.
Yep.
And it just seems cool. Like, when we do a whole other different melody. But then I think because... Sorry, fire truck right behind us. I think because it comes back around in such a satisfying way.
Right.
And then we're back to the top. I don't have no how you put yeah, that's how it is. But yeah, so it's like it hits, and then you're like back home, and you kind of realize how far you've come on this journey to like get back home, and it's such a familiar place that I think it kind of works. And then you launch into the solos, and you're like, oh, cool, we've been on this whole thing, and we still have solos that are fun. So
you want to play that B section and just, or you want us to
let's
just play it?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. I personally love what Chris wrote in the B section, and then how it does get back to D, because we're kind of in G, D, but we're kind of just around D minor.
Yeah, there's a lot of D minor-ish. Yeah.
And then we get back to it, similar to the end section of the song. Like,
right.
It's probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
Just because it has such drama to it.
Yeah, I think that kind of makes the end really work, because it does sort of tie the whole thing together, where it's a lot of quickly going between D major and D minor, whereas the song up until then has been going like slowly between D major and D minor. Right. And at the end it's sort of like we're whirling around faster between all the keys.
Right. You want to demonstrate that for a second?
Yeah.
So we get out of solos and stuff, and then we're here. So this is D major stuff. Minor,
major,
minor again. Then we stay on the minor here.
Then major, minor. So yeah, two minors, two majors, basically for the rest of the song. Yeah, kind of like a four chord loop at the end, which is, it's like a pop song.
It's very moody.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a Katy Perry song.
So yeah, that's the basics of flow. I got the easy section to solo.
It's true.
Mine is like 4 chords or something. Chris got that complicated B section.
But then the flip side of that is that if I just make the changes, it sounds good. Whereas over simple chords, you have to like make cool things happen without changes. So, pros and cons.
Yeah, both have their things for sure. So how did we come to be with GroundUP? Well, Chris is in Snarky Puppy.
Mm-hmm. And I play with Fork
and he plays
also.
with Fork.
And Fork was on
And Bocante.
GroundUP for a long time, and Bocante. So yeah, just part of the family basically. And we had, I don't really remember. I feel like it was probably something that we had discussed between the two of us for a little while.
Yeah,
like,
we
option.
were a band for 3 years.
Right.
We released our first record in like 2016.
I want to say 17, but I'm not sure.
16, 17.
Yeah.
And kind of did our thing for a few years. When we started writing this one, it was like, trying to figure out how to get it out in front of more people if possible. It's
yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I brought it up with my friends that are at GroundUP, and they were interested. I wasn't sure because they don't really take on a lot of new artists, which is good. I mean, try to keep it from becoming oversaturated, and they can't spend enough time on each artist. So, but they're interested, and I don't know, maybe it's because there aren't a lot of other things on the label that are similar to us. We don't really sound like, they don't have any other acoustic duo things.
Yeah.
House of Waters is like maybe the closest thing,
Mm-hmm.
it being acoustic, but yeah, so friends and family basically.
Yep.
Reed McQueen at Gumfest 2022. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
I think that's, if not 2022, then I think we will eventually be there, I would think. I don't see why we wouldn't.
By 2030.
By 2030 we'll be there.
We'll have figured it out.
Yeah.
But they've been great, by the way.
Mhm.
Just to shout out to the team at GroundUP.
Yeah.
Super fun to work with and awesome at what they do, and
Mm-hmm.
it's been really fun.
Light but sophisticated.
Thank you.
Is that about the music or is that about us? Because we are both
think it's
pretty,
about our
pretty
hair.
light.
Our hair is light and
Oh
sophisticated.
yeah.
Okay, so maybe we'll move on to the next song,
Sus Blues.
which is called Sus Blues, which stands for when we working titles. We had a lot of working titles for songs.
Yeah.
It's hard to name instrumental music,
Yeah, really hard.
so it was called Suspicious Blues.
Right.
But we didn't realize that on the chorus, it's made up of a lot of suspended chords.
Right. For all you music
For the
nerds.
music nerds out there. So we kind of worked. We just shortened it and called it Sus Blues. Yep. So maybe we can. Maybe we can listen to some of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll. So this was one where we wrote it later in the process. It might have been song 5 or 6 or something like that. And I think the intention with this one was wanting to have a song that was a little more up-tempo because some of the other ones were a little slower.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we needed
Yeah, and like strummy is always good.
yeah.
Sometimes on acoustic guitar, you just want some strummy.
Right.
And it's always nice to use like the open strings, like
Yeah, that chord.
show the first 2
So
chords.
the chord is like a C sharp minor chord, but instead of playing it like you might play it, to get that bass line, basically doing this open chord thing, and then being able to go like this. So it's.
Oh, you don't move that note? I think every time I do, I move that note.
That's cool. Oh, you move this.
Yeah, I do that. Wow, that's harder.
Cool. Yeah, no, I keep it.
That's funny.
See.
Right, we're learning things.
It's crazy. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of open strings.
A lot of open strings.
I think we were also kind of thinking because we, like flow is this like epic thing that goes on a journey and then comes home and references things, and then it has like a loop at the end that builds, and we do a lot of songs like that have like an epic storytelling feel, which is good. I think we like that, but also it's nice to not do that every single time. So I think this is also an attempt to make like almost like a jazz song where there's like just a melody that you play and then you solo over the melody. Although it's a little more like verse chorus vibe.
Yeah.
But still, it's like a simple song.
I think when we started it, it was like, let's write kind of a minor blues,
Mm-hmm.
but then it just evolved into the other thing.
Right.
So And it kind of has a turnaround, and right, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of a blues. I have no idea how many bars it is. I don't think I've ever counted it out, but maybe you want to play like the first part,
Yeah.
the melody, and then
Yeah.
okay. You want to just start right on the melody?
Yeah, sure.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, tap.
So you have A major instead of the 4,
Right.
and the 4 kind of.
So here comes this turnaround.
It's like a drawn out blues. Go to the 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that. So like this little melody sits surrounding the 5 chord, like chromatically.
Yeah.
And then, but then when it gets to this last part, then it's like surrounding that, like the sussiness of that.
Yeah. Totally.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep. And it's a fun one to solo over.
Yeah, because you get like the minor bit, and then you get this like weird major thing. So it gives you a lot of like options to play. Like, so you could do. Sometimes I'll just do like straight up major, and then for the. But then you can also do like flat stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like go pretty out there.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, it doesn't always work out, but you can go there.
But we go for it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say one thing I do remember about writing this one is we're
Realized the level of musicianship in bluegrass music. It's easy to think like, oh, it's just like fast country music, or it's not.
Right.
It's not that.
yeah.
That-
But even it's crazy because even country music, depending on what subgenre of country music it is, like the musicianship is like super high.
Yeah.
Compared to other like any other radio music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Like I got into country from. Did you know Andy Rogers at Denton? He was the bass player in Oh So Close So. It's that rock band that I had, and he's a great bluegrass musician. He grew up playing it with his family. So he played banjo. He taught me how to play some bluegrass guitar, and we would play together. I played some mandolin too.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I mean, similarly, I was kind of like, you're studying jazz, and you're like, jazz is the hardest, best music in the world, and then you try to play some of that, and you're like, oh, this is equally hard.
Yeah.
It's just a whole different vocabulary.
I think it gets downplayed too on when you do study jazz and you think like, well, I already know how to play like basic open chords. It's like it's all just like C.
Right. Yeah, totally.
But then to improvise it is a whole nother language.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly hard to solo over.
And like all of like your bebop vocabulary does you no good at all.
Doesn't work.
It sounds so bad every
Yeah.
time. So yeah, leading up to this recording, I definitely spent some time trying to like get into that zone, and even just for the strumming, like I was having the hardest time when we were rehearsing this, like just getting the feel right.
Yeah.
And the thing that actually helped me a lot was this random YouTube video that Molly's Huddle has.
Yeah.
She does a video where like it's just her like super close up on her hands, and she just does like. And it's like it seems sort of obvious or simple or something, but like because it was broken down so slowly, it's really helpful for me. So then I just kind of started to do that slowly and then build it up, and that helped a bit. I mean, I feel like by the time we got to the recording, it was a lot more comfortable than it had been leading up to it.
Definitely. Why did we choose this capo thing?
I literally have no idea.
So
for some reason we were like, for this song, you're going to be on capo 3, I'm going to be on capo 1, and it's going to make sense. And I
Like,
it
remember why
may
we did
very
it.
well have been like, it just seemed funny or something. I don't know. Or maybe like we just happen to be in these positions and we're like, let's just see what it's like.
Right.
I don't know. So yeah, he plays a song in C, I play the song in D.
So
which is bizarre.
The cool part about, I think that might be interesting is like, so we play basic stuff like if we just play the chords, but now we go to like a first inversion of an
right,
an E chord, and then a
second inversion,
and then 4 chord, back to 1. Okay, so that's like the A section, and then if we go to the B section, we start on that inversion. Now we go to a minor, 4 minor.
And then a walk up. Yeah, so walk up and walk down.
Right. So this is definitely getting away from like a normal
straight bluegrass. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely more.
Which is on purpose because I feel like
totally
it has to fit into what we do.
Yeah.
So then it starts to sound more like our personality, which is complicated stuff.
So the melody you want to play. So let's see how the melody fits.
A section. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it slow. So we played a lot faster than that usually. It does take a bit of warming up. It's one of the more challenging songs to play.
Definitely,
at records.
So it can also be played at a bunch of different tempos.
Yeah.
From like medium to ultra fast.
Yeah.
I remember that at one point I was like, we should lay this back, that part. Yeah. Like even in the rhythm part, and it doesn't sound right. It's like the wrong genre. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that was a no on that.
We did it for a little bit, and then we kind of got away from it.
Yeah. And then there's the.
It's got some cool hits, yeah. So
the end of the melody.
I think we just wanted like a little bit of like a, not to quote the name of another song, but like a send off to get into the solo section.
Right.
So it wasn't just the end of that B section, then we keep going. So at the end of the B. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the end of the A. My bad. So. Solos from there. So
I remember spending like a while trying to figure out how to make all this work because I feel like we had this part for like we liked that, but we kind of like had to build the song around it. I think in a way because I remember like trying to make the song. I think for a while we were like maybe the song could be or something like that. That was like maybe even how the song started.
I think you're right.
And then eventually we just like made this whole bluegrass song, and then we're like, okay, we can fit that at the end of the head, and it sounds cool.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. 1, 2,
1, 2, 3.
Hey.
I remember you came up with a ba da ba da ba da da.
It's a 6th chord, you know. It's very jazzy. But yeah, so we start unison, and then it goes into thirds harmony, and then it ends unison again.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat.
That's cool. So yeah, we do
And
that.
also, it's not in 4 at that point, but I don't know what it's in. I don't even think we have ever
No, we haven't figured
worked
that
it out.
out.
It's
Yeah.
fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's see. Let's get to some new questions here.
Oh, solo on Like a Light. Yes, that was me. Yeah, that was my jazzy solo.
Thanks, Crimson.
What challenges do you face writing for an acoustic guitar duo versus full ensemble? Challenging part when working with only 2 acoustic guitars versus full ensemble. Yeah, so yeah, I mean that's definitely part of the process. I mean this song actually isn't that great of an example because bluegrass music is kind of lends itself to that. Let's see, let's go. I was thinking, ES kind of has a little bit of that because I play a little bit of like the chords while playing the melody for that second head. Section.
Michael says, please fix.
Please fix.
Not sure.
Let us know if something isn't working.
Yeah.
Everything is looking good on our end. That's fine. No audio. Okay. Crap.
Let's see. Is anybody else getting audio, guys?
Audio is fine for me, someone says. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, hopefully it's not a widespread issue. Okay. Okay. Bamboozled.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so I was going to say maybe we skip around a little bit and talk about ES. Because I think that one is a pretty good example of writing around the fact that we're only 2 people.
Yeah.
That or Etude.
Yeah, let's see this one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so this one...
ES, this is the last track on the album, and it was one of the last ones we wrote, too.
Yeah, I think it was the second to last. Maybe Send Off was after that.
Yeah.
So this one's in 7. We had a song in 7 on the last record.
Yeah. Now, didn't really have any odd meter ones up until that, I think.
So many in 3/4.
Right. Yeah.
It's like we
We're
wrote a lot.
big fan of 3 or 6.
So we had this. I had this whole part that I'm playing here. We'll show you in a second.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
And then I sent it to Chris in a voice memo once again, and then he sent me back his part, which was amazing.
Seems to be a thing that we do.
So I'll go through it quick. So it's just a G major thing. Open strings. So to answer your question, acoustic guitar, exploiting the fact that it uses open strings, it sounds very pretty that way.
Right.
I'll move on to the next part here. So.
And then the melody actually uses a lot of open strings too. It's there's a lot of like open strings or holding 2 notes next to each other, like seconds. So there's this, and then.
Do you think you wrote that because of the first part having so many open strings, or do you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
Was that your first
maybe
idea?
Subconsciously. I think it was. I don't know. I think it was more about like the shape of it, like starting like small and then like kind of becoming like almost like you're playing a harp and every note is being held out. So that was kind of the idea, was like holding out as many of those notes as possible. Like ideally I get left over, and I usually try to start like real soft, so it's like,
It's
and by
cool.
the end it kind of builds.
I love it. So,
and I actually thought that it was too similar to an Elliott Smith song, but then when I listened back to it, it sounded nothing like it. There's just like a similar phrasing to a Elliott Smith song.
There's the Easter egg.
Which is why,
That's why we called it
ES. Yeah, but but I listened to it and it seemed okay, and no one has said anything, so I think it's fine.
Thanks, Vincent. Thanks so much. You want to play your part? Oh, you want to talk about the walk-up thing here? So awesome theme,
right?
Rhythmic theme.
Yeah, obviously
goes with the
motivic
thing.
sort of thing, and then it ends where it starts, but it actually starts like a beat earlier the last time, so that you go down more notes, and then kind of ending down there. I really like when a part goes really high and really low on guitar. It just seems cool. So like this one goes all the way up to E and all the way down to this D, which I think is kind of fun.
Let's play it.
Yeah.
Just start on. We can start on that melody. 1, 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say this section was what I was thinking about, going back to the question about writing for acoustic guitar and not a whole ensemble, because like, so we do this whole first A section like we did, and then we get to the repetition of that, and it kind of feels like the band should come in.
Yep.
So like, basically decided that I was gonna figure out some way of playing this melody instead of doing it like that while playing some of the lower notes. So I do like. So it kind of like jumps around between bass notes and melody a good bit, and also like, taking advantage of like the low A. I wish there was a low E for this, but I'm in drop D, so there isn't one. But yeah, that's definitely part of the process of writing for this stuff. Is trying to like figure out where we can hand things off, like that, like play that transition in between the first A and the second A, because you play. So he plays. Sort of stops playing the chords and plays a lick. So to avoid avoid that like gap in or the bottom dropping out like right at that moment.
Yeah.
I played the low D, and that's the first time I played in the song.
Yep. And then it's like it gives it a lift.
Whole new texture.
Whole new texture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, a lot out of tune, but you get the idea.
So then we had that part, and this was another one where we didn't have another section for a while.
Right.
It was weeks of getting together and just playing it, seeing where it wanted to go. A lot of silence in the room,
yeah.
like just kind of a lot of green tea. We drink a lot of green tea when we rehearse. So
He means whiskey. No, he doesn't. Just kidding. Actually, it's green tea. Yeah, because I remember there was some part you had like some sort of other thing that it went to, and for some reason it just wasn't. It wasn't really like
it was another walk
feeling
up.
like it was like going anywhere. I think that my thought on the next section was sort of dumb in a way. I was just like, well, we've been doing major, let's do minor. So I was like, so I'm gonna take the rhythm, like, you know, he's been doing this like rhythm, and I haven't done it yet in the song. So what happens if I do that rhythm, but I do it in a minor?
Yeah.
So then I just found a voicing that worked for that, and luckily I have this low D. So if I do that, then I can do. It's easier fast. And then I just start to put down some other chords, but keeping all of this the same. And the second time go to, which is I think 2 major. Well, I guess it's 4 major in the key of D minor, which is like, I feel like very Elliott Smith. To go from the 4 major to the 4 minor in the key, like a minor key. Yeah, and then just like a simple melody on top of that.
Yeah, when you sent me so Chris sent me this audio, I think you sent me a melody thing, and I was like, I really liked the melody a lot. Selfishly hoping I would get to play that part. And I did. You were
well,
like,
I mean, it makes sense because you know, I played the other melody, so that's what we do.
Let's play this part.
Yeah.
1, 2,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exactly where this came from, other than, I mean, it's a common progression.
It's a common progression, but I think it flows with the theme of this walk down.
Well, yeah,
stuff
you do that walk down during the A section.
we've been doing. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And there was something kind of interesting about, like, the first time around, it's a certain number of measures, and the second time around, we add in, like, another measure.
Yep.
Seemed like a cool thing.
And I think we might have written the melody first, right? So we had like.
Extra measure.
and again, orchestration-wise, we have these solo sections that get kind of big because we're like strumming, you know, and then we kind of break it down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, you want to do a part of your solo?
Sure.
And then we'll go into that other section. 1, 2, 3, to a strummy thing.
Yeah. I like that the melody for this soloing section comes at the end. Like, it's not like you hear the melody and then you solo over it. It's like we're soloing over these chord changes, and then at the end you get the melody that you've kind of like been experiencing all along, which is kind of neat. And there's another example of like just talking about like using just the 2 acoustic guitars. So we double this melody, but like I kind of get away with not doubling it completely, and I just get some of the notes while mostly doing rhythm. So it's like I'm mostly doing the job of the rhythm guitar player, but if I hit a few of the notes, then it like has the effect that we're doubling it, which is
totally. That's
good, you know. Whereas if it were a larger ensemble, it'd be like, you know, one person's playing the chords, 2 people playing the melody,
right?
That sort of thing.
Yeah, so that's good. You don't have to play every note. That's interesting.
Yeah,
you get the vibe. So, yeah, so we do that. Hi, Asia.
Hey, Asia.
Hope you're having a good trip. It looks amazing there. So then we decided to have yet another breakdown.
Yeah. So we have our the epic section.
Okay, so we come out of that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to play the last run through of that? Right key.
One extra measure on that time. epic thing, for some reason, goes to a different time signature, but I guess it doesn't really matter. You didn't even notice. It just has a feel.
Yeah, it's in 5.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. So I think it was one of those things again. Another voice memo. I sent you this, or sent you harmonized or something, or maybe. And I think we might have added this later. Or maybe
Yeah.
I had this and
Maybe
sent you the harmony, and then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you came with both harmony parts.
So I had this part. Play.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Oh, you played up there, right? Yeah, I just played the harmony part.
Yeah,
Never
you
mind.
just whenever I come in, you just already
Yeah.
switch the harmony. Right.
Yeah, it's great.
1, 2, and go.
Yeah.
So I guess the idea with this too is like, so we were coming out of this whole like minory section.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a way to get back to D major
Right.
in a way that isn't so awkward, because there's like a big moment and a change in texture. So like you kind of immediately back in major.
Right. Yep.
But then there's a little bit of playing with going back to the minor and back and forth. That's apparently a thing we like to do
Yeah.
between major and minor. Sounds good.
That sounds good.
And then it kind of breaks into the melody, and then we elongate the end of the melody with some longer, and then so it just works its way all the way back down, sort of like a long
Right.
exhalation,
Right.
if you will. Yeah.
Let's see some comments, guys.
Mhm,
Thanks.
When composing, do you think of the guitars as two different instruments? When listening to the guitars blend so well together, it sounds almost like one instrument. Well, that's definitely something that we like sort of try to do. I mean, we try to. I mean, if that comes across that way, then that means that we've succeeded, because we're mostly trying to hand things off in a way where you would never even know that something happened. Sort of try to make it sound easy in a way.
Mhm.
So we'll have sections where, like, especially going between solos, where one person takes over the rhythm while the other person, or melodies happen like that, one person takes over the melody, and the handoff is like, we engineer it to be seamless. It's
Right.
It's not like an accident. We're definitely like, okay, when I play that note, you're going to play that note, and then,
Yeah. I think if we were to move on to Mobius,
Oh, yeah.
that's like a good example of
Mm-hmm.
intentionally trying to make it like one big guitar.
That's definitely true, yeah.
So
Okay. I guess we could just play it, right?
we can just play it.
Yeah.
We'll do it live.
Let's do it live. Do it live. So I think, yet again, I think
So-
you had this thing.
I had this thing.
It's just like a very nice, chill.
Yep. So we had this part, and then I'll show you what the cool part too is when the melody comes in.
Mhm.
It almost sounds like there's a third person,
Right.
but it's a little.
I feel like you probably had like literally said like you should try to write something that sounds like all intertwined and like
Yeah. Yeah, I think it
So
was like
okay,
keep
so
it
you-
going.
because you started on a high note, so I started on a low note.
Yep.
My very first note is low F, and then your second note is low F. So ready, go.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. How about
Let's do it like-
1, 2, 1,
okay, yeah.
1, 2, 2, 2, yeah. We're gonna change.
Yeah. So my pattern is the same for all of these: F major, D flat major, B flat major,
Yeah.
1 flat 6 and 4. I do the same exact thing.
Yeah,
do
mine's the same
thing?
too. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Yeah, I think we worked for a while to find the right combination of notes that has like that. There's like a texture that starts to happen that is cool.
Let's play it faster. 1, 2, da, da. Here's the melody. Let's see if I can do it. Try again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was like faster than
That was
normal.
that was faster.
It's kind of
than we
nice
normally
actually.
do.
Yeah. So
the-
yeah, with that. So when the like you were saying, when the melody comes in, it almost sounds like there's a third guitar part because you've already established this like texture that we have.
Right.
But really, your part is the same. You're just holding out
Just
some of the notes.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, but you do change. Yeah.
And then here.
Right.
Yeah, and this is the same. So
So it has the effect of what you like. You continued playing what you were playing before
right,
to the ear, even though you're kind of adding in some new notes with the melody.
right.
So yeah, which is super cool. And then we
I
get
think I think another thing to point out that makes this song sound so angular and kind of weird is just the keys. I mean, we're just switching from
right
we're in playing
F major.
kind of unrelated key centers, right?
Right.
So we're like in F major and then D flat major and then B flat.
Right, because it's not even Lydian, because you're like, right?
Right.
Isn't the melody?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much 3 different keys.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then we switch to another key. So then we go to
Right.
C, A flat, F.
F. So it's the same chord progression, but instead of being in the key of F, it's in the key of C.
Right.
And it's twice as fast.
Right.
So we go through the chords faster. But the melody is kind of longer phrases in a way. Like instead of being
Yeah.
like, it's like,
Right.
like it continues on.
Right.
So yeah, chords, the harmonic rhythm, which is how fast the chords move, is faster. But then the melodic rhythm is like kind of longer.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those situations too where it's like, okay, so for the A section, you're playing the high note first.
Yeah.
So for the B section, I'll play the high note first and just see what happens. And then I'm just playing the same pattern basically over all the chords. Sorry. Whatever the chord is, I go 1, 7, 5, 3. When you put it together with the melody, then it sounds cool. And really, the trick is holding out one note while playing other notes. That's like a
Yeah, Vincent,
Hard.
that's a cool point.
delay pedal.
Yeah, it does. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say that we or super intelligently wrote this song that actually is like somehow a Mobius strip. It's more like just a feeling. It just
Yeah.
feels like what
I
a
think it made
Mobius
us
strip looks
think,
like.
It made us think of it. I don't think we came
Sort
up.
of
We
intro-
definitely didn't come up with the title first. It was sort of like
No.
music first, and then
Yeah,
what does it make you think of?
this was the easiest one to
Um,
name. Definitely. And that's sort of it on this song, right?
Yeah,
and
the
then,
solo
'cause then we
section's
solo,
fun,
We solo
'cause-
over those 2 sections,
Yeah.
and then that gives you a lot of different key centers to try to like mess around with.
Yep.
And then I remember this one we had a bunch of different arrangements, and I think we even like had like an updated arrangement that I had like just for the ending,
Mm-hmm.
fancier licks or something, just to get
Oh,
us
yeah, we
just to
probably did.
get it fully, to that satisfying arrangement.
Yeah, we went through a lot of different iterations, but I think the end. You want to just play the end from the F.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was.
Oh, that.
Yeah, just the last thing.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Let's do the last. Let's do the last
melody?
piece, the last bridge, because we did that.
Oh
Your
yeah,
strumming bit,
the strumming
you know?
thing. Let me make sure I remember it here real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll remember it. Here we
Right.
go.
Yeah.
We didn't rehearse this yet.
There you go.
Oh,
from the.
Do you want to do it
A
from
section?
from the strumming thing? Let's do it from the strum.
Okay.
1, 2,
Yeah, so that one, like, felt like by the time we got to that last bridge section, it wanted something more exciting.
Yeah.
So, like, the strumming helps with that. And then instead of playing all my intricate stuff, I just do octaves, kind of. So it makes it more of like a normal-ish song,
Right.
but like have that feeling of you've arrived somewhere. But then we like bring it right back down to the same sort of texture.
Yep.
And then I have a weird walk down thing.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's fun.
Yeah. I don't even think I've seen you break that down
Oh
before.
yeah, I do a.
That's cool.
So it like walks its way down to.
You got some twisty finger on top of.
Oh yeah,
Thanks
definitely
for
some
that.
twisty fingers. Yeah, I mean this band is great for teaching yourself how to play hard things on guitar.
True.
All the twisted fingers.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one. Yeah, one thing maybe that might be interesting for that is this is definitely not music for us that we can just not rehearse for and
Right.
go play a gig and nail everything perfectly. It's like
Yeah.
we always have to remember there's a lot of little tricky things that
Mhm.
like if you don't practice, you'll forget. You might just kind
Yeah.
of blank on some things or not quite have the technique up because to be a lot of the things that I think I personally kind of write when I'm doing some writing is like things that excite me on the guitar that are a little bit challenging for me.
Right.
So a lot of things start as like little exercises or little etudes
Mm-hmm.
in order to practice another technique but make it sound musical, which might be a segue into etude.
Yeah, let's
But,
do etude.
So that means that you kind of have to have a certain level of technique happening and keep that up because a lot of times we'll write stuff that we can't really play yet.
Right,
Or
yeah.
it's kind of like,
Yeah.
this will be cool when we can do it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we're pretty much just writing things right on the cusp of the ability. This one makes it fun though. Okay, so this one is the etude. And this was definitely one where you had this, at least this first section worked out as like an etude that it kind of works on its own, which is why we have him play it by himself one time around.
Right.
And then I feel like you probably said you should write another part to it, something like that, or maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I feel like we tried to improvise it a little bit. Like maybe I was like, just play it and like maybe I'll do something like this, and we like tried to sort of like fake my way through it. And I feel like it was, it was cool enough. So I was like, okay, there's some potential here.
Yeah.
Because you're moving notes around, and we've played together so long that it's like you get accustomed to like when you do certain movements, I can do certain other movements that counter, and it sounds
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So I think I was starting to get the feeling of what it would be like to do that. But then I definitely went home and like worked it out note by note. This one in particular.
No, we don't write anything out, and we don't really have to transcribe the recording because unless we really forget or we haven't practiced in a while.
Right.
It's usually up there, but takes a little jogging the memory.
Right. And we do make a lot of voice memos of our rehearsals. Just like when we get to the end of a writing session, we're like, okay, let's record this, because every time we've not done that, like 2 weeks later, we're like, I literally have no idea what we did. It's gone. But yeah, we don't write out stuff. Actually, this song that we're talking about right now, this Etude, is the only one that I've ever written it out at all. And just because the nature of this song, every single note has to work perfectly with what's happening. Mm-hmm. There can't be any wiggle room. So I did a little bit of that.
I don't think we had to tweak anything though. I mean, you sent me a voice memo back with my part, and then you wrote this part to it, and it was like super sweet. Yeah. And then not to mention, there were weeks that went by, or a few weeks, and we wrote a B section.
Right.
Same kind of deal.
Yeah.
Kind of wrote this other part. I think we tried to write it together. We had some ideas, and then
you
fleshed out
wrote it on your own. Yeah.
But then sent that to Chris. He wrote an even cooler part. I think like some of the stuff you did in this B section are like knocked me out. Which we can break it down.
Let's play it slow. Yeah.
Yeah, let's play it slow because we haven't practiced this lately. So should we just start it together?
Together. Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I like how at the end, I ended up I'm trying to follow the part that you're doing, and it ends up being these cool notes that I never would have chosen. I feel like for some reason, just the way that it walks down is different from what I would normally do.
Right.
But it was very strange arrangement of notes, and then I do that walk up. I had to double the B to get it to work out, everything to work out, but for some reason it all lined up, so yeah.
I think the hardest part for me is the end of that. It's these double stop things, so it's let's see, I can't play it slow now.
Hey, don't you go to the other string set? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that wasn't
you
bad.
have to shift your hand every single time.
So fast.
Yeah, it's really hard.
And it's kind of one of those, if I get
Bach vibes. Definitely some Bach vibes. Yeah, there's a lot of we've both done a lot of playing through Bach stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's not exactly intentional, but not unintentional, I think, on this one.
Especially the B section. Wait.
Yeah, let's do the B section.
Yeah, wait, Crimson, till you hear this part. So.
Okay.
Okay. So we can talk about the first part. I think the thing that ties it to the second, the thing that ties it together is doing this thing.
Right.
Sorry.
I can't be, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
If we remember,
motif.
The first thing had it here. So just doing it. What are we doing? We're doing it a whole step down.
Yeah, there's another one of those, like I played the highest
Super
note
high.
to the down, all the way down to a low F sharp, which is pretty fun. That's definitely a Bach thing.
Yeah. There's the thing I like that Chris does in this section. I don't know. Let's see if we can start at the B.
Yeah.
It's that thing. I'm trying to isolate it. But
Yeah.
it's very hard to start this in the middle. So.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, do you want to play it yourself now?
Yeah, so I'm going. I feel like it's like I'm trying to think what it's something classical. Like I want to say it's like what did like Chopin or Debussy, like there's some sort of style.
I have no idea. I feel like you are.
This is why it's not really. It's like faux classical, but there's some
much more of
inspirations in there.
Yeah, you're much more musicologist than me. I feel like.
Obviously not. I came in just like what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think all that's happening is so B minor, G, C, F sharp, kind of walking down to B. This part's also cool.
Yeah. So this part I'm doing. This is definitely something that I'm pretty sure I stole from Bach. Sure, that's from the
Actually, this whole thing is just a Bach piece.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. No, I think there's like a Goldberg variation where it's like that. It's not that exact. It's not that exact formulation, but the whole like octave thing that. The idea was to hold them all like. But it's really hard to do, so I just try to get as close as I can. Like do da do da do da, as opposed to. Sounds way cooler to go. Just sounds like rockets are firing off everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the idea with that. And also like doing the chord change so instead of going, it's like, so like first position, what am I trying to say? Root position.
Right.
And then second inversion. That way you kind of keep it going upward. Anyway.
Yep, it's very cool. Yeah, Villalobos. Yeah.
Yeah. Fake Debussy and fake Bach is what this song is.
Yeah, basically. So that's Etude, number 2. We had an Etude on our first record that's
much more like a normal-ish song.
Yeah.
Whatever that is for us. But it's kind of Etude-ish.
Kind of Etude-ish.
Yeah.
Started as like another kind of technique-y thing.
You do So Long?
Yeah, let's do the slow one and then we can do sign
Yeah.
off.
Like a good set list. So the second to last song is the ballad.
Yeah. We got one more for you. And then you lie and then you come back and play the fast one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this one's called So Long. I think maybe we started naming it as a joke because it is so long. But it also sounds like you're saying goodbye, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Oh, Mark, you know the answer to that.
Mark Jones.
You probably can't see it.
Yeah, probably too far away for that. Get a close-up cam next time. I'm using this.
Still doing the one I gave you though?
Yeah, this is the one you gave me, but I don't remember what pyramid.
It's a pyramid extra heavy.
Yeah, it's a good one. So what do you want to say about this song? This is like.
Yeah, Fernando, check it out. It's cool. I don't know. I mean, it's much different than Etude number 2, but it has a Etude-esque thing just because of the intro and this
we
whole.
have our lines together.
We have our lines together, and I don't know if you play guitar, Fernando, but it was a sort of an alternate picking exercise for me. To pick through triads like that. So wanted to work on that. Just probably threw my hands on a guitar within an E thing, and then was like, well, I'm not just going to sit here and do this all day. So then try to make something musical out of it, and we turned it into a song. So yeah, sorry, so long.
Oh yeah.
So
how did we start writing this song? I feel like, was it just with these chords and just like it'd be kind of cool to have like a slow strummy thing? I don't know.
I think so. I think you started playing that.
I just like playing this C with the low G, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice.
I think so. So we came up with this melody pretty quick, I think.
The idea with this is 4 different chords with C in the bass. So it's just kind of a C chord that's shifting. And this time it goes to A flat in the bass. And then A in the bass, just more bass movement as it goes along. A flat. Now G in the bass. But all the chords are staying the same. Sharp, sharp. F. This is the one time it's a different chord. Okay.
Okay, might be fixed now. We'll do another test.
It's weird that we weren't hearing it.
Yeah, that is weird.
Okay. Is it good now? 3-4 mess, just throw some metal drums over it. I know what it sounds like. It sounds psychotically loud.
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
How is it now? How is it now,
why,
everybody?
I don't know why that's happening. And I don't know why we're not hearing it when that happens. It's so weird.
Let's give it a
Sorry,
second.
y'all. Yeah, there's like a 20-second delay, so
Okay.
they will let us know. But it should be fine. Stopped. Okay, good now.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Woo. Sorry, everybody. We just hit our pedals for a
I know
second.
that's like an insane mess. Okay.
So that
Back to the solo section.
the solo section, and then we'll keep going. And the next part I think is my favorite part. It kind of starts to go from this mono, like I'm playing just a C
Sitting on that
triad,
C triad.
and then we start to move around, and Chris is able to like kind of solo and explore more with chords. So.
Mm-hmm. So even though he's just playing the C, I'm playing C, then D major, F major, and then F minor, which is just the 4 chords from the main part of the song.
Right.
And then we sort of do like a free kind of playing around those chords. Now we're doing pretty much unison, kind of. Now I bring in this melody. Both play nicely?
Yeah. I usually let you go for like start the rake down and then I hit mine. So it's like right after your thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
the chords are this, like I think the whole entire song, other than that weird little bridge that happened, the chords are literally the same thing over and over again. But there's a lot of bass movement that kind of propels it in a certain direction, or building, or arpeggio, or strumming. And there's a lot of that, like we were talking about before, like where we'll keep some of the notes going while playing a melody at the same time, trying to like kind of do two roles at once as much as possible.
So I think we have one more song to do, but since there's a delay with questions and stuff, if you guys want to start, if you guys have any last questions or anything, things you want us to talk about, definitely write some stuff in the chat, and we'll do the last few minutes, just answer some stuff. So the last song is called Send Off. Again, I think it was another, like, be nice to have like a quicker, more flashy song in there. I think I was listening to, I was a big fan of like Friday Night in San Francisco, like when I was in college, in high school.
I don't know what that is. Do you mean literally being in San Francisco on Friday night? Because that sounds pretty wild. I didn't realize your high school was so, that explains why you're so straight down the middle these days.
Yeah, I grew up in the Bay Area, surfing every day. No, so John McLaughlin.
Oh, okay. I should probably know what it is.
Neal. It's like this guitar trio thing. They had a lot of songs that were
just blazing,
virtuosic, like everybody playing lines at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I think that was some inspiration for this, and it was a live record. It had a lot of energy.
It took us a while to get there on this one. Like, you had the first lick, but then like we tried about 100 variations of how to make the song, and we just chipped away at it until we like finally had a workable song. Right. Because it was sort of like, okay, we're gonna start with this like fast thing, but then like, what are we gonna do after that? Like, just keep playing fast stuff? I don't know.
Then it kind of turned into a folky song.
Yeah.
Like a tune. Like a tune.
Which makes sense, because then it gives us something to actually solo on and all of that.
Do you want to play it fast first? Let's do it fast melody first. Yeah. And then we'll break it down? Yeah. So...
Am I counting it?
You got the count, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so you can play it again.
Let's do it slow.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
A theme with the we go through a few key centers, which was kind of interesting. Chris has the harder part, if you can't tell, because he's playing.
Well, they're both pretty hard.
He's playing.
I'm doing a lot of bouncy like bass notes. And then together. That's easy. That's actually not the hard part. And then it does. So I kind of switch off between bass notes and doubling him. And then strum. And then the second time around, same melody or harmony part, but with different chords. The ending part is the hard part. I have to like and I should probably just work out a different way to do it, but I haven't done that yet, so but it's a nice like satisfying little harmony your part.
Right.
Meow.
So then we go into the melody, right?
Mhm.
Let's see. Yeah, and then solos from there. Actually, maybe we should play some solos. I don't know. The chord progression for the solos is pretty cool.
Yeah. I like the sort of halfway point in the
Right.
melody. It's kind of nice. It brings it in back to the intro like a little bit, I feel like.
Right. I like. What are you playing when I'm playing this?
F, then A, 2.
Yeah.
F major 7.
Yeah. Because I remember us thinking like how we could get back to this.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that was the
Sort
part
of
we
build
kind of
from the F
inserted.
to the A.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And also there's a part where I tend to I take over like right at the end of the melody because like you have to go straight from that to that little doodle-doo.
Right.
So we're like, okay, that would be cool, but that's like physically impossible. So yeah, just like
Right.
just join you like just to like beef up that part a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't really notice in the context. I feel like it just sounds like meant to be that way. Yeah, you want to do some soloing? Since we haven't done that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Melody again. Yeah, we gotta remember it.
What comes out in the A section or the intro part?
Right. Sorry. You wanna just do it proper? Do
Yeah.
the melody part, the
Okay, yeah.
intro, and we'll go into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. That's cool. So, yeah, that little end bit was interesting. How we came. I don't
I
know.
think you went to the bathroom when we were practicing. We were like writing the song, and I just started playing that.
Oh, that's cool.
And you were like, "That's cool." And I was like,
Yeah,
"That's
it
that's
sounds
cool."
like a. It's
It's like kind of a go to the bathroom at the end of a song kind of moment.
to me, it sounds like the beginning or the end of like a. I don't know, like Creedence Clearwater Revival song or something. Like it brings me back to the '70s. Like it's like a Doobie Brothers thing or something, you know?
Oh, it totally is. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the minute 6 to 9
Yeah.
of the long track,
Right.
where they're just like starting to get it going and just jamming. Yeah. Yeah, totally. So that's our Doobie Brothers anthem.
If my dad's watching, that's his favorite song.
Nice. I think that's most dads' favorite song. You know?
That's a good one.
Yeah. Like I feel like for my dad, it's probably up there.
Yep.
He definitely had a Doobie Brothers 8-track for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I played until it broke.
Yeah.
Anything to say about that song? We sort of at the end we kind of create a loop out of it to give it more momentum and climactic energy. So instead of like playing
Right.
the normal thing, we do like.
Yeah, there you go.
And then the hard lick,
Yep.
which I didn't quite get, but I'll get it next time.
Yeah. So that's a really fun song to play. Challenging song to play.
Mm-hmm.
Challenging to solo over a little bit.
Yeah,
It's got
I
some-
find it challenging because I think it's one of those where I sometimes I get led around by the changes. I'm like, and now I'm on E minor, and now I'm on B minor.
Yeah,
and now
yeah,
I'm on
totally.
it, you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
hard to make like a through line
Right.
through it sometimes. Fun challenge.
Fun challenge. So I think that's all the record, guys.
Yeah, that's the
Anything else?
record. That's how we write songs.
That's-
Mostly, it's just someone has an idea, and then we try for a long time until good things happen.
Yeah.
But that's-
all
that's-
kind of by ear, huh?
Yeah, by ear, definitely. Yeah, we don't really write stuff out. Like I was saying, the Etude one I did a little bit just to make sure it was all good. But yeah, generally we do it by ear,
Right.
by feeling, and we just play it a bunch of times until we, like every part of it.
Yeah.
And if you're writing a song and deep down you know you don't like a part of it, you should listen to that little voice in your head,
Definitely.
and you should change that part.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to accept that I could let go of things that weren't working in songs, like maybe that's not a problem you have, but I feel like sometimes I'll write something and I'm just like, I know it's not working, but I just think it's cool. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to lose that part. So I just have to tell myself, it's okay. You can use it in another song.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not working in this song right now.
Yeah, totally. I think too, I've written stuff for other contexts like bass and drums and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it not really be that satisfying to me until trying it with you, playing it together. We had a song from the first record, like this was something I wrote a long time ago.
second part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, or just that in general.
Mhm.
So sometimes you can write something and just not have the right kind of group for it, or
Right.
or something.
Yeah, I think we're a good blend because I think we tend to write sort of differently.
Yeah.
Like I tend to write like too many different changes and weird things. Like there's definitely been a couple times where I was like, no, this should be this like weird chord here.
Right.
And you're like, I don't know, maybe not that, just there. And yeah, it's a good balance.
It's a good balance.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, because I have the tendency to write too simple, maybe too pretty stuff, and then like you're a good like springboard. to
Throw in
like,
some weird things.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, that doesn't really. Okay, that's cool, but then like we need something
Yeah.
else because it doesn't do much after that or
Yeah.
something. So we have a lot of that. Do you guys have any last questions you want to ask or anything?
Thank you all for hanging out.
We talked a lot. Yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And thanks to GroundUP for letting us take over their YouTube page for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I promise I'm not going to do anything
nefarious.
Nefarious with all the power that you've given us.
Yeah, totally. In the back end.
Don't worry about, you don't have to change the password or anything.
Yeah, the settings and all
it's
that.
It's going to be fine. Yeah.
We'll give it a second just for the lag, but
we're watching ourselves 20 seconds ago.
Can go back in time. Do you want to play anything to say bye? Like one of our other songs? Or
Sure. Is that just a person that I used to know? Yeah. Let's not play that song though.
You want to do Western Theater or?
Yeah, sure. Anyone have any requests?
Yeah. Anybody have anything?
Acoustic Alchemy, Rainy Days. Yeah, that's good.
I used to love Acoustic Alchemy. I haven't listened to them in a long time, but what's that?
It does sound familiar. I don't know. I didn't listen to that, but I did listen to Classical Gas.
Yeah. That was it. There was also it was like
Nope.
Yeah. Crimson knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Michigan.
Cool, yeah.
We definitely hope to go there.
All right, well, we'll play. You want to do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll do the title track of our first record called Western Theater, and it was great to see you guys. Hope to see you and do this.
That's a nice sound on the rake there.
Oh,
Did you do something that's that different? That's cool.
I don't know. New strings.
Cool.
I'm not sure who reference point is. Crimson.
Vagabond. Oh, too late. We already played a different one. Sorry.
We could have played Vagabond.
Mark Jones, what's something you've learned from each other through playing together in the duo context? Oh yeah, okay. We'll come back to that. Listen to the new album. How did you make the cover? So the cover is kind of this.
Kind of that.
This is a mural that my wife Erin made just kind of for fun, and then we ended up taking pictures in front of it and liked the way it looked, and then she made like a digital version of it for the cover, and then on the back is the picture of us in front of it. So yeah, it is kind of synthwavy. It's supposed to be like a geode kind of inspiration, but I think with the colors, we ended up going in more of a synthwavy direction in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to?
What did Mark say?
What's something you learned from each other through playing together in the duo context?
I mean, first thing that comes, I mean, a lot of things, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
the first thing that comes to mind is like being, you know, like being a good supporter of when you're playing important parts or soloing or something.
Yeah.
I think it's real easy to let the other person down. Like,
yeah,
like,
totally. Yeah, because there's no one else.
There's no one else. So if you drop a beat, you drop a chord, you forget something, it's like, and the other person's playing.
Yeah, it's like totally a common thing to like rely on bass players and drummers. As a guitar player, like if I, you know, it sounds dumb, but it's just like you don't really have to play on beat one a lot of times. If the bass player has to know what's the right chord, then you can just sort of like, there we are, that's the chord. So yeah, like in this context, there's none of that. You have to be the person. I think I have also learned to play softer, or at least I'm still learning that. But that's because I, you know, coming from electric guitar, and especially like I was playing in rock bands and folk, and just sort of like doing like a lot of like wacky sounds. So like my approach to playing the guitar technique wise was not like so delicate and particular. So playing an acoustic guitar situation, especially with you, because you have like an extremely good technique and clean sound, it's helpful for me to like remind myself over and over again to like play with nice technique, and especially listening back, because there'll be times where I think, you know, it was cool, and then I listen back and I'm like, oh, I'm playing super loud and like hard for, you know, it doesn't feel like that when I'm playing. But yeah, I think it's definitely been a big learning thing for me.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody.
Yeah,
Guess we'll say bye.
Yeah.
Great fun.
Thank you for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out.
And see you next time.